They say if you stand outside Blackwood House after midnight, you can hear something breathing that isn't human, slow, wet, and patient, like it's been waiting a very long time for you to notice it. I didn't believe the stories when I first moved to Alder Creek. Old towns survive on old lies, I told myself. Blackwood House was just another abandoned mansion rotting on the hill, avoided because fear is easier than facts. That confidence lasted exactly one night. Blackwood House sat above the town like a black tooth lodged in the earth. Every window was dark, every wall stained by decades of rain and rot. Locals wouldn't even look at it directly. When I asked why it had been abandoned, the answers were always vague. Family tragedy. Bad things happened there. Best left alone. That should have been warning enough. I was a journalist chasing a story no one wanted told. Records showed the Blackwood family vanished in 1979. Parents, 2 children, and a live-in caretaker, without a single body ever recovered. No fire. No crime scene. Just gone. The house was sealed, then forgotten. Until me. I entered Blackwood House just before sunset, flashlight in hand, recorder in my pocket. The front door wasn't locked. It never had been. That alone made my stomach tighten. Inside, the air was thick and cold, carrying the smell of damp wood and something metallic beneath it. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, the walls lined with family portraits. Their eyes followed me, not metaphorically. Every step I took, the shadows around their eyes seemed to shift, adjusting. I told myself it was nerves. The floor creaked as I moved deeper, each sound echoing too loudly, like the house was amplifying my presence. Somewhere above me, something moved. Slow, careful, heavy enough to be real. Rats, I whispered, though I didn't believe it. The first sign that something was wrong came from the mirrors. Every mirror I passed reflected the hallway, but not me. Where my body should have been was empty space, warped and dark, like the house had erased me entirely. I stopped breathing. I raised my hand and waved it in front of the glass. Nothing. The reflection remained still. Then, behind me in the mirror, a shape unfolded from the darkness. I spun around. Nothing. When I looked back, the mirror was cracked down the center, the fracture spreading slowly as if the glass were splitting on its own. I backed away and nearly tripped over something on the floor, a child's shoe, dusty and small. Nearby lay another, and another, lined neatly, as if placed there. The house wasn't abandoned, it was arranged. I reached the staircase, its banister carved with strange symbols I didn't recognize. They weren't decorative. They were warnings. Every step upward felt heavier, like gravity itself was resisting me. Halfway up, I heard whispering. Not words. Breathing voices layered over each other, rising and falling in uneven rhythm. They came from everywhere, inside the walls, under the steps, behind my own ears. Leave, something hissed. I ran. At the top of the stairs, a long corridor stretched ahead, doors lining both sides. One door stood open at the end, spilling darkness thicker than shadow. From inside it came a wet dragging sound. I should have left the house then. Instead, I walked toward it. The room beyond was a bedroom, once a child's. Faded wallpaper peeled from the walls. Toys sat where they had been dropped decades ago. The air was colder here, biting. In the center of the room stood a wardrobe. Its door was open. Inside, something moved. A hand slid into view, long, pale, fingers bent at impossible angles. Then another, and another. Too many hands, all emerging from the same narrow space, gripping the edges of the wardrobe like it was struggling to pull itself free. The thing inside didn't step out. It unfolded, limbs bent the wrong way. Its body stretched and compressed as if it couldn't decide what shape to wear. Faces pressed against its skin from the inside, mouths open in silent screams, eyes rolling beneath the surface like trapped insects. I couldn't move. My mind rejected what my eyes were seeing. The creature's head, or what passed for one, tilted toward me. Its face was a blur of features that didn't belong together. Then it spoke. "You don't remember us," it said in many voices at once. I staggered back. "I don't know you." It laughed, a sound like bones grinding in mud. "You will." The room darkened as shadows stretched toward me, crawling up the walls, across the ceiling, over my feet. They clung like living things. The creature stepped closer, and I understood the truth too late. Blackwood House didn't kill its occupants. It kept them. Every person who ever entered without leaving became part of it, absorbed, stitched together into whatever this thing was. The caretaker, the children, the parents, all trapped, all aware, all screaming behind borrowed skin. And now, it whispered, "You belong here too." The shadows grabbed my legs, pulling me down. Cold burned through my bones. I screamed, fighting against the impossible strength, clawing at the floor. My recorder slipped from my pocket and skidded across the floor, stopping near the wardrobe. The creature froze. Its head snapped toward the device. "What is that?" it asked, suddenly uncertain. Hope sparked in my chest. "A voice," I said, forcing the words out. "Something you can't hide." I slammed my foot down on the recorder, activating it. My own terrified breathing echoed through the room, amplified, looping. The sound bounced off the walls, filling the space. The creature recoiled, hands flying to its head. Faces beneath its skin twisted in panic. "No," it screamed. "We stay in the dark." The shadows loosened their grip. I ran. Down the corridor. Down the stairs. The house screamed as I fled. Wood cracking. Walls groaning. Shadows reaching, missing me by inches. I burst through the front door and collapsed onto the grass, gasping. Behind me, Blackwood House went silent. I didn't look back. The story I published made headlines. Authorities sealed the property permanently. They said they found nothing inside. No creature. No evidence. But some nights, when I listen to the raw audio from my recorder, I hear voices behind my own, soft, patient, and angry. And sometimes, just before the recording ends, something whispers my name. Because Blackwood House doesn't let go easily. And it knows where I live.